Okay, so in personal finance, we are absolutely obsessed with metrics, right? But what if the single most important number isn't found on a stock chart? What if it's all about how well you sleep at night? Today, we're going to explore a really simple test that could completely change how you look at your money.
I mean, we are just surrounded by data points. We track PE ratios, we debate the perfect savings rate, we nitpick expense ratios down to the tiniest fraction of a percent, and we're always told to calculate our so-called risk tolerance. It's just this constant, overwhelming stream of information.
And all of this leads to a really crucial question. With all these endless metrics for the market, what's the real metric for you? What's the metric for the human side of all this?
So, let's take a term like risk tolerance. We're told to put a number on it, to quantify it. But the thing is, these are metrics for markets. They're not really for people. Your true risk tolerance isn't some number on a spreadsheet. It's an emotion. It's that feeling, that pit in your stomach when the market drops. And that's what we really need a better way to measure.
And that's exactly why we need a different kind of metric. Something that just cuts through all that noise and gets straight to what really matters. It's super simple, it's really powerful, and yeah, it's called the sleep test.
All right, so I want you to forget the spreadsheets for a second. Forget all those complex formulas. The sleep test is just one brutally honest question you have to ask yourself. Does my current financial situation keep me up at night?
And the answer? Well, it's just as simple. If you are losing sleep over your finances, your risk is too high. Doesn't matter what the experts say, it doesn't matter what the market is doing. If you're not sleeping, something is wrong. Period. End of story.
Now you might be thinking, okay, so I lose a little sleep, but this isn't just about feeling rested. Passing the sleep test is absolutely critical because failing it, well, it comes at a really, really high cost. This kind of financial anxiety can quietly sabotage your entire future.
We tend to think of our stocks, our bonds, our savings as our main assets, but our real number one asset, our most important one, is our human capital. It's your mind, your ability to focus, your health. That's the stuff that actually builds wealth.
Think about it. When you're just staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m., that stress is doing real damage. It literally makes it harder for you to earn, to save, and to make smart, rational decisions, especially when it matters most.
Okay, so this all makes sense in theory, right? But how do we actually apply it? How does this work in the real world? Well, it really boils down to a pretty simple and practical process. It's basically a 3-step process. So, step 1, make it a daily check-in. Start monitoring your own peace of mind with the same kind of attention you give the stock market. Step 2, gauge your panic level. If a normal, everyday market dip, say 5%, sends you into a full-blown panic, that's a huge red flag. And step 3, and this is the important part, act on it. The solution isn't to just, suck it up. It's to actually de-risk your investments until you feel comfortable again.
And you know what? The sleep test isn't just for your stock portfolio. Let's talk about your income. Do you feel constantly on edge about your job security? That is a huge sign that maybe you need to build a side hustle or upskill. Or what about your savings? If a flat tire would cause a major panic attack, that right there is a blaring red light telling you to pause investing and beef up that emergency fund.
You see, when you start using the sleep test, it does more than just help you tweak your portfolio. It fundamentally changes your entire financial goal. It completely reframes what success in this whole money game actually looks like. So many of us are taught to chase the absolute highest possible return, right? The biggest number on the spreadsheet. But the real goal, the right goal, isn't that. It's finding the best return that you can personally stick with for the long haul, we're talking decades, precisely because it lets you sleep easy.
And really, it all boils down to this one powerful idea. Look, you can always make more money. You really can. But what you can never get back is a lost night of restorative sleep. Your sleep is a non-renewable asset, and you have to protect it fiercely. That's why it's the ultimate indicator of your real financial health. So I'm going to leave you with a final thought. A question I want you to ask yourself later tonight when your head hits the pillow. Will you pass the sleep test tonight? And hey, if the answer's no, what's the one change you're going to make tomorrow?